On a deceptively normal-looking street near LAX airport, in a building where Boeing once built 747s, today SpaceX is building rockets.
Yeah, it's pretty cool working in a rocket factory.
Even more so when it's your rocket factory. Elon Musk is one of an elite group of moguls and mavericks who have launched private space companies, hoping to open up the final frontier. He founded SpaceX in 2002 after the success of his first two internet companies. And with degrees in physics and business, he serves as both CEO and CTO, Chief Technology Officer. He also runs Tesla Motors and is involved in a solar company. He's tall and good-looking. It's starting to sound like the resume of Doc Savage or Bruce Wayne. Perhaps in his spare time, he also fights crime.
Well, I just wanted to be involved in things that are going to make a significant difference to the future of humanity, and that was the motivation for getting involved with the internet, and then sustainable energy with Tesla and Solar City.
And with SpaceX, he intends to help mankind become a spacefaring civilization. This is the manufacturing floor of SpaceX, where, like some science fictional dream, rockets are being built. Behind me is part of the first stage of a Falcon 9 rocket that's destined to carry some cargo, maybe a satellite, into low Earth orbit. This past October, the Augustine Commission gave President Obama its recommendations for the future of the American space program. A key point was that NASA should focus on the Moon and Mars and leave low Earth orbit to private enterprise. While those other moguls are focused on space tourism, SpaceX is poised for a unique role. Their mission is to develop reliable and reusable rockets and spacecraft. And by designing and building their rockets in-house from the ground up, they intend to do it at 1/10 the cost of current systems. But they aren't competing with NASA. In fact, NASA is their biggest client. They've contracted SpaceX to do a series of 12 flights, a few demo flights, followed by actual cargo deliveries to and from the International Space Station. That's been the job of the space shuttle, but when the shuttle's retired in about a year, SpaceX aims to take over that role. But their Dragon spacecraft is more than just a cargo carrier.
In fact, we designed Falcon 9 and the Dragon spacecraft to be both a cargo vessel and a crew vessel from the beginning. It's got windows, it's designed to carry the loads of an escape system, it's got the redundancy, it's got the extra safety margins, all the things that you'd want if you're carrying people.
Critics have questioned whether private companies can meet NASA's safety standards for manned spaceflight. About a week ago, the independent Aerospace Safety Advisory Panel strongly disagreed with the conclusions of the Augustine Commission. But faced with a finite budget, President Obama is recommending to Congress that we pull the plug on the Ares rocket program and invest those resources in NASA's expanding collaboration with private enterprise. Now it's up to SpaceX to use their 12 unmanned cargo flights to demonstrate the safety of their spacecraft before it will be allowed to carry American astronauts. This is not a model or a mock-up. This is an actual Dragon space capsule, and this is the one that's being built by SpaceX for their first flight for NASA. This capsule is going into space. I'm going to see if I can stow away. There are some critics of the manned space program. I'm not one, and you're not one, obviously. But why? Why not? Why manned space?
I think there's something inspiring to everyone in the world in space travel, human space travel particularly. People can say, like, well, what was the point of the moon? But it's one of the most inspiring events in human history. If people say, well, what were the greatest achievements of the United States? That'd be one of them.
The SpaceX website has a lot of interesting stuff, the price of a rocket launch, and you also give your own personal summary of each flight and test. What's your philosophy behind that?
My